Hello, as usual it's me Pavlo, and today for review I've got Kotori Audio Dauntless. It's not a new model, it was released like 3 years ago or even a bit more, but I'm not a fan of this idea of rapid releases of tons of models, so that's why I like companies that not trying to ride the hype train and just release earphones when they think that they are able to deliver something interesting. And actually with Dauntless it's exactly the case, because Kotori Audio created really unusual tuning. We'll talk about this later. It's a single dynamic driver model with price of about $66. So let's have a closer look. All exterior of these earphones is made in pretty utilitarian way. Everything is straightforward, simple, nice and accurately done. So, simple box with good polygraphy, with specs printed on the back side, with accessory set listed on the side, and familiar black cardboard box. Nice hard case for the earphones themselves, and the small compact box with accessories. So let's dig inside and see what we are getting. You'll get two set of tips and carbine. So if you want, you can attach it here and carry this bag somewhere on your backpack, or I don't know where else you can attach this carbine, but it's good to have an option. Standard gray silicone tips, 3 pairs of different sizes, and also pretty familiar tips made of sticky silicone, a bit softer than the gray ones, so you can try different type of tips to find which will fit better into your ears. And here are earpieces themselves, also familiar shape, nice black color without any decorations, strict and modest look, but at the same time good ergonomic shape, so nicely fitting into ears, especially into my ears, because after that many years of trying different earphones, I think my outer ear has the shape of such shells. Nice, well extended spout with proper angle, providing slightly above average sound isolation. Lip for holding the tips, and the protective grill inside, so everything is in place. As you can see, this black finish gather a little bit fingerprints, but they are not super noticeable anyway, so pretty practical design. Cable is replaceable, here used also absolutely standard 2-pin connector, no recessed parts, no deepened parts, and actually nice and neat company's logo on the faceplates. So if you want to find some third-party cable, there won't be any issues, absolutely standard. Stock cable is normal, with ear hooks formed, and just traditional silver colored wire. It's on the soft side, so microphonic effect is pretty low, comfortable cable, so splitter with chin slider, and underneath it goes down to the compact angle jack. So as you can see, everything is accurate and well done. In terms of tuning, these earphones offers unusual for modern audio world experience. They remind a little bit first version of Tin Hi-Fi T2, because they are also focused on the technical aspect, they focused on the upper, mid and treble area. They are like conservative in terms of base quantity, so if you're looking for an earphones with universal traditional tuning, it's not an option for you. And also, if you're sensitive to the brighter sound, it also won't be a perfect choice for you. But if you want something natural and focused on the small nuances and aspects, they can deliver a really interesting experience. So bass go deep, almost to maximum depth, and it's rather well controlled. But at the same time, in terms of quantity, they are a bit shy, because you won't get traditional for nowadays bump in the bass area, and that means that they won't give a lot of rumble, they won't provide super tight impactful punches. But at the same time, when it comes to naturalness, especially if we're speaking about string instruments or about some low notes on keyboards, they deliver interesting representation with focus on the small nuances, with highlighting the realism. At the same time, if some substantial bass is needed, I don't know, like for brass instruments, for example, they can be lacking a little bit of that. But at the same time, definitely not dominating with low frequencies. And here is an example I often use as a test of deep bass. It's Tempest by Juno Reactor. And in the first part, there are a lot of deep low frequencies that goes from left to right and vice versa. And while you will hear that with these earphones, you won't get that substantial bass present. But when main part with main bass line starts, they will deliver nice actually not nice amount, but more low frequencies, but still probably a bit below that is necessary for such music. But we'll talk about examples of low frequencies a bit more later. Mid frequencies are natural, slightly focused on the small nuances, especially on the upper mids, that moves the female vocal forward. Also, it gives a bit of additional aggression to the guitars. If you're sensitive for the upper mid boost, keep this in mind. Stage is pretty wide, noticeably wider than average, and average in terms of depth. So a bit, I can't say that it's shallow, but it's shallower than you expect for such widths. Let's say it so. They are pretty critical for the quality of records, because there is no additional coloration or things like that. So what is present in the record, they will play, but won't add anything and won't try to hide any issues. So let's go with an example. It's Warm Wet Circles by Marillion. Really nice representation of vocal. I've seen some feedback about these earphones that they represent male vocals as veiled or muffled, but I can't agree here, because here we're getting nice vocal, really highlighted guitar parts, and pretty pleasant airy percussions. Treble is also highlighted, not too much, not to sound overly sibilant and sharp to my ears, but for people sensitive for this area, definitely they can be a bit too harsh. I tried my test track Seventh Son of a Seventh Son by Iron Maiden, and that sounds sharp as it should be. Treble extension is slightly above average, and treble is pretty decent in representing both basic and advanced overtones. They're liking layering, of course, but it's not an issue for this price range anyway. So really well developed, good basic treble for those who enjoy this region. And I've selected a pretty complex example. It's Pain of Salvation ending theme, and baseline actually rendered pretty well by these earphones. I enjoy how they represent it. And the treble is saturated, slightly accented, and of course lacking layering to represent it fully. But at the same time, cymbals sound pretty nice to my ears. But once again, I warned you about their quantity. So they require some decent, well-controlled source to unveil their full potential, or you can pair them with something warmer if you want to balance their sound signature, but I won't advise doing that, because what is the purpose of getting earphones with unusual signature and trying to tone it down? I won't be doing any comparisons here because they are pretty unique and doesn't sound like vast majority of modern earphones in this area. So if you have an opportunity to try them, to listen them, I really recommend to do that, because there is a high probability that you will enjoy it. But at the same time, if you consider to buy them blindly, you need to consider your taste and preferences, whether they will fit it or not. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and of course, have a great day.